Hello. Oh. Hello. How are we all doing? Hang on. Yeah, that's right. Right. Let's get some background music on. There we go. Right, hang on. Just let me try and figure out why my camera looks a bit weird today. Maybe I think just need to move it a little bit there. Just move that maybe there like that. Stay there like that. No, stay. Right. Let's see if that is any better. Yes, that's better, isn't it? That is better. Right. How are we all doing? Do make sure you drop a like on the stream. Let's get the algorithm going in our favour today. We've got Florin. Hello to you. Hey there. And Tan Zhuang. Hello to you, everybody. Thank you very much for joining the stream today. Got a lot to look at in terms of Bitcoin. Let me just pull up the Bitcoin chart. We are selling off a little bit now. Selling off a little bit into, we've got an hour until US Open. Well, 50 minutes. And we are pulling back on Bitcoin. Yeah, so we'll look at Bitcoin plans. Obviously, yesterday, we had some great price action on Bitcoin. Stonksy caught a nice little short on the 5 minute. We'll look at a couple of other things, pretty much the whole market. But the big news today is we will be having, for those of you that are in the Discord, you will know him, SMFC on the stream in about 20 minutes or so, roughly. Well, I'd imagine within the next half an hour to discuss the latest news about the Stonksy bot and what will be coming for users. So that should be very, very exciting. Supreme Core says XRP. Yeah, we can take a look at XRP. But first things first, let's have a look at what we got on Bitcoin yesterday and today. Obviously, we had this superb run-up that started on Sunday, followed into yesterday. We then topped out at 88,765. Then Bitcoin distributed, obviously formed. Little distribution pattern, you can see it better on the lower time frame. Distributed. Low time frame, and then sold off obviously into the Asia session, and then we've obviously bounced a little bit. So where are we going to go? I kind of fancy that we move up and take out yesterday's high. Personally, I like the idea of that. Obviously, Stonksy is still green on the 1 hour as well, which is good. So I'm fancying that we move up and at least clear this high before maybe looking elsewhere. But you let me know in the chat, what are you anticipating? I did have my first short here, obviously stopped out on stream yesterday. I then shorted 88,080, I think it was. And then I closed it this morning, then opened a long. If we go and have a look what's going on the stream/challenge account, obviously I also I'm running this alongside pretty much. So far I've not done anything different on this to my personal account. I've just pretty much been mirroring the same trades and the same entries and targets and stuff like that. But we can see on the challenge account now we've got 5,216 USDT. So if we go and have a look at that, obviously, yeah. So yesterday, this was the loss that we took on the short yesterday from on stream. So a 47.59 USDT loss, including trading fees. I then had an ETH. This was a bit annoying. I had a great ETH short, but price was looking a little bit before going to bed last night, and I thought the Bitcoin one, in terms of like the equity that's in the account, the risk was already decent enough. I thought that was on the table for the Bitcoin short. So I thought, well, I'll close the ETH short and then I can leave the Bitcoin one running. And then obviously, I woke up today and we got plus 69.62 USDT after trading fees. So we are up around 20 USDT from obviously accounting for the losses on these two. This would have been a good one. I think when I woke up today, this trade actually, and this was only a really small ETH one, would have actually been on about, I think I want to say about 60 to 80 USDT from that it would have been when I woke up if I had left it open. But yeah, there we go. So we are up overall the past day on the stream account. But yeah, not as big as it could have been. But I did obviously long down here as well this morning. Could have got a better entry, but yeah. So that's where we're up to on currently at $10 now. I am looking for obviously to take profit close to these highs here. Ideally, a sweep of this high, which would be $50. But maybe we could drag, if we drag that down towards them highs, that's 44. So maybe we see. I mean, if we could get a push up on stream, that would be great. But again, that would be roughly 1% of the stream account added to the basket then. And then we'd be approaching. Obviously, we started the stream account with 5,000. So we'd be up 5% on the stream account then in the past week, which would be good. So we'll see exactly what will happen with this trade today. But yeah, the idea, be it for any of you that maybe haven't been tuned into the streams or new to the streams, we are pretty much just taking it slow and steady on a stream account, trying to grow the account, not using crazy amount of leverage or margin on each trade. I'm pretty much just trying to minimize the losses, which could have been done a little bit better yesterday. Obviously, I shorted here and got stopped out, but then as you can see here, I was adding another position yesterday, which ended up coming out quite well. So we'll see if obviously we get the push up today on Bitcoin to generate a little bit more in this stream account. But yeah, do make sure you drop a big thumbs up on the stream for me. Subscribe if you're new. And if you're looking to take any trades today, do make sure you sign up to BLOFIN. First link in the description for you. Hello, Ibrahim. How are you doing, my friend? Haven't spoke to you in a while. If you are the same Ibrahim that I think you are, I imagine you are. And we've got Spud in the chat. Hello, Spud. I imagine you've just come off your stream then. Big up, Spud, in the chat. Yeah, thank you everyone for joining so far. But yes, we'll obviously cover the market, have a look what Bitcoin did yesterday. We'll have a look at ETH, Sol, any others that you guys want. And then sometime in the next 20 minutes or so, half an hour maybe, we'll be having SMFC jump on. It's going to give us a full run through of the bot. So for anyone who doesn't know what the Stonksy bot does or how it works or how it may benefit you, he's going to give us a full run through of that. And then tell us about all this new stuff that is coming along as well, which should be good. So if you do want to get access to Stonksy, you get full indicator access, Discord access, and obviously you get whitelisted for the trading bot, and you'll get all the new stuff that's coming, all the developments and strategies and stuff like that. You can find the link in the description. That's the second link, and the code is there to get 20% off. So that's an extra 20% off your first month. So come and try us for a month. It's a rolling plan, so there's no obligation. There's no contract or anything like that. Right. So, yeah, obviously we had this push up on Bitcoin yesterday. Now, we did come into, for those of you that remember last week, I think we'll probably be better seeing it on the 4-hour chart. We was looking at this 88 to 89k region on stream. And, yeah, obviously we come up, tagged in there, and then we've sold off. So what do I want to see from here? So, personally, I'm looking at two potential things from here. I'm looking at a push up into here. Obviously, take out yesterday's high. Maybe push up a little bit higher. And then tail off. That's one potential I'm looking at. Alternatively, the strength might just be there in the market for it to give a full retest of this previous range low. So at the moment, obviously, I'm long from down here. But I think they're the main ones that I want to see at the moment. I wouldn't really want to see it pull back from here, I don't think. I'd rather see it go higher again. instead of pulling back and then maybe looking for another long from somewhere. So that is pretty much it on Bitcoin for now. I think that's all we need to look at for the upside. For the downside, obviously we do have the monthly open down here. Again, we probably wouldn't want to come down there, although that is around about where the CME gap is, I think. Let me just check. I'm just getting some messages through. Hang on. Let's see, what's this? Right, okay. Yes, so let's have a look at ETH, shall we? And obviously, let's zoom in on the 1 hour. Is Stonksy? Yeah, so Stonksy on ETH on the 1 hour. If we zoom out and have a look, I don't know why I'm. We are green on Stonksy again. On ETH on the 1 hour, obviously the first time we had this one. But, yeah, I mean, superb catch by Stonksy, wasn't it, on the 1 hour? But if we go and have a look at the 1 day chart, you'll see exactly where we pinned off yesterday. Is that high time frame pivot zone. So around $2,100 is what we want to see reclaimed. Obviously, it's an area that we've looked at a lot on stream, but it is a clear pivot point, you know, big SR. So what would show strength in the ETH price? A reclaim of this and staying above. So we need to reclaim $2,100. Hold it for a daily close. And then where would we be looking at? Well, we'd be looking at a move up to the monthly open, which obviously provided resistance here. You know, and if we go into something like the 4 hour chart, we've got this little piece of SR here as well, which ties into just above the monthly open. So we'd want it obviously above here into the monthly open, potentially then into there, and then either we'd roll over, or would we potentially get a little pull into here? Never say never. Could we potentially pull into there? So all eyes on ETH at the moment in terms of structure. And you can see it a bit more clearly on this 4 hour chart. You know, the reluctance. Obviously, this was timing in with Bitcoin's momentum stopping as well. But at some point, we do want to see ETH generate its own momentum. But as you can see there, just a little rounding off at the top. Obviously, rejection, rejection, rejection. And then fell over. But let me know in the chat what you would like me to look at. If there's any altcoins or anything, you know, maybe you've got some thoughts or feelings on Bitcoin, ETH, whatever it may be. Just let me know in the chat and I'll take a look for sure. But that's, I think, probably what we're looking at for ETH, in my opinion anyway. It's what I'll be looking for. I don't even know, at the moment, there is some opportunity in alts for sure. But in terms of trading-wise, I think Bitcoin is just so nice and clear to look at. I mean, this is one idea that I've got, like I discussed before, pulling into here, which would be 2R. Again, this stop loss isn't calculated in properly. You know, maybe you put it a bit lower, wherever you wish. But I think maybe that's something to consider. I'll have to see what happens when we get there. What do you think happens on 2nd of April? What's the significance of the 2nd of April? Are you going to have to... What's the significance of the 2nd of April? I'm not too sure. Let me know. What's going on the 2nd of April? I don't know. I don't even know if I've got anything in my head. What's going on the 2nd of April? I think in terms of SPX, I'm looking potentially at this kind of zone here. I mean, we could make that a bit wider if we wanted to. You know, you can make it into there or wherever. But I think, you know, you could maybe even make it into there. I think this could be the zone where we pull back. So maybe this fuels, another leg up on Bitcoin today if this carries on. But I think we could see it trade into there maybe before we tail off. Maybe. Tariffs. All right. Okay. Trump auto tariffs are coming, but no. So a few things on tariffs. So obviously a lot of tariff talk and tariff attention since Trump's come in. The first thing to note is the more tariffs are talked about and the more they take the attention, the less effect they'll have, because, to my knowledge anyway, the main kind of tariffs that Trump could implement or discuss have already been mentioned. Obviously, Canada, EU, China, all of them have already been discussed in depth and, in the public eye. Second thing is markets are forward looking. So markets are forward looking. So if obviously we've got this coming up on the 2nd of April with the tariffs, that will already be getting priced in. It will already be getting priced in. So what will happen on the 2nd of April, in my opinion, nothing, because it will already be priced into the S&P, Bitcoin, etc. Markets are forward looking. They move ahead of events and ahead of time. So that's what will happen, in my opinion. Nothing. Obviously, we could get, if he comes out with something completely left field and something that the markets haven't baked in, then yeah, we could get a bit of a shake or whatever. But for what we know at the moment in terms of tariffs and what is planned, it will already be baked into the market. Hello, my whiz. How we doing, my friend? Send it all down. Want my short sprint? I want to get back in, mate. I want to get back in. So not just yet, please. However, yeah, I want to get back in. Mainly, I'd like it to come up and take out yesterday's high so I can really load in about 89k-ish and then trade it to the downside. However, this is potentially maybe looking like a low time frame, lower high. So do we get so lucky for something like this? I don't know. Oop. Do we get so lucky? Maybe not. But I closed out my short. I think it was down here. Yeah, it was about 86,500, 400 from up here. But yeah, I mean, it is potentially looking like a low time frame, lower high. But I would like just squeeze up, take out yesterday's high, maybe push into here, wherever. But then I'm looking to really start trading it back down then. Hopefully. Still short on Mantle, says Spud. Very nice, mate. Very nice. Oh, the camera's done that thing again. Hang on. Let me see if it's stopped. Right, hang on. It's incredibly annoying the way it's doing this. Got a very big short on ETH too. I shorted ETH last night, but unfortunately I closed it because I was also short on Bitcoin, and if the trend started carrying on, I didn't want to be too caught offside with having them both short. So I chose to have Bitcoin open instead of ETH, which if I would have left them both open would have been. If I would have left ETH open as well as the Bitcoin one, that would have been juicy. But yeah, as for the Bitcoin short, that on the stream account, I managed to recoup the initial losses from yesterday, and yeah, banked a little bit of profit, a tiny bit. So yeah, all good on that front. I would just like to get. Yeah, I'd love to get in again. 200x longs on Web3 Spud. That's it, mate. That's it. Hello, Loki. How we doing, my friend? Right. I think the camera should be fixed now. Right. Hang on. There we go. Hit that like button, guys. Yes, do make sure you listen to Lee. Do hit that like button. Make sure you do drop a like. And if you're new, make sure you subscribe as well. But yeah, this is ideally what I'm wanting. And I do think that there's a chance that we get it. I do think there's a chance that we get it. Especially if this carries on. So I think maybe we push into this kind of area on maybe even retest the yearly open. We could test the yearly open. But I'm thinking maybe just one more squeeze on SPX before we get some reversion back to the downside, which could catalyze this push up on Bitcoin. But yeah, something like this I'm looking at, enter wherever. And then invalidation is, obviously wherever you, I mean, it depends, doesn't it, on what type of risk you're using and how much leverage. But that's what I'm looking at anyway. So hopefully we will get to see it. But yeah, that's where we're up to. So, but yeah, in short, I would love to get short again. Anyone else in any trades? Anyone else in any trades? Let me know in the chat. What we will do now as well is we will load up the poll. So let's get the poll going for US Open. We've got that in half an hour. Let me just load up YouTube Studio and then we'll get the poll going. Justin's bullishness has caught you off guard. Me? Who said I'm bullish? I want to short it. I just want to get in again. That's all. Do you know what? I'm just playing the range. Well, playing the price action, which we could see a proper range form soon. But I just want to trade it. So I wouldn't consider this bullish. If we come up and sweep this, and then particularly, so the past few weeks we've had the Monday high and the Monday low playing quite a key role in price action. If we come up and sweep this, maybe mess around a bit, but then get back below and start to tail off, I wouldn't call that bullish. I think that's a recipe to have a serious pullback, maybe into, obviously come back, test the weekly open, the Monday low, maybe come and test down here. So yeah. Let's see, start poll. Right. Do make sure you get your votes in the chat. Start poll. Right, there we go. Right, I can reshare my screen now. Right, there we go. Right, polls in the chat. Do make sure you go and see it. I can't see the chat. Yeah, I was just loading up. I was loading up YouTube Studio, so I had to turn my screen share off for a second. But the polls ain't going. Do make sure you go and vote on it. I'm in a TRX long, but in a loss. Oh, okay, so that's the same one from yesterday, isn't it, Lee? I remember you mentioning that yesterday. Closed your shorts too early. Do you reckon? Well, I closed my shorts around here. No, hang on. Would have been around here, about 86,400 to 500, somewhere around there. At the moment, I saved myself a bit of draw. Obviously, if price just happens to not give me the entry and price does that, then yeah, I will have closed too early. But as it stands, I've saved myself a bit of drawdown on the position because it's up a little bit from where I closed. Let's have a look on the stream account. Let's see on the stream account where I got out. I'll tell you exactly where I got out. Hang on. Order history. 86,490 is where I closed my shorts. And I'm obviously on this long here. I'm in from 86,719. So yeah, that'll be good because obviously we'll generate 1%. Well, yeah, roughly 1% of the account on this trade if it comes, you know, to full take profit, which will be on our way. Then we'll have made 5% on the challenge account. So for anyone who's not been following on, or you know maybe you missed a couple of streams or whatever, we've started this account with 5,000 USDT. We are doing a challenge to try and trade it towards 10,000. But the main aim is to firstly minimize losses as much as possible, and we are only using low leverage, which obviously ties into reducing risk. So yeah, it's been fun so far. It's been fun. I've enjoyed it. So let's hope we can carry it on. Profit is profit. That's it, mate. That's it. I've never really done like a challenge account before. I've never really done a challenge account, so I thought it would be fun to just do one on stream. And then obviously, you know, for anyone in the Discord, you get updates on what I'm doing. But I thought it would be good to just do it completely transparently. You know, I'm doing obviously this in front of all here. You know, it's not like I'm just sat here doing it and then posting it in the Discord and stuff. I'm doing this and doing this. You know, I'm doing this in front of, well, live on the internet. So it's something I've never really done before. So I thought it'd be interesting to do. Obviously something new and something interesting for you guys as well, because you know it's completely transparent in it. You know, there's nothing to hide it on the thing. Yo, I'll show you exactly what trades I've done and the profit and the loss. And also, you know, for anyone who, you know, maybe is, you know, maybe you're new to trading, or maybe whatever it may be. Also, just showing you that, you know, you don't always have to use big leverage and stuff as well. You know, just taking the approach of maybe minimizing losses as much as possible, using lower positions. You know, there's only $1,075 of margin in this account. And obviously, you know, being really sensible on the leverage. You can still grow an account. So, yeah, I think it's good for a couple of reasons. 50x or nothing. Yo, Justino. How we doing, my friend? The legend Justin. Obviously, we had a superb stream with Justin yesterday. I'm very well, thank you, mate. How are you? Let me just message SMFC to see what time he's coming on. Because we do obviously have US Open coming up. There we go. Just pinged him then, just to give him the link and stuff like that. Oh, he's here. I'm here. Just been making. Well, I've just sent you the link on Slack, mate. I've just sent you the link on Slack. So just join whenever you're ready. Join whenever you are ready. Let's see what the poll's doing. So what is everyone's feelings today? We've got 60. I've just realised what I've done on that poll. I've done direction on US Open, yes or no. Hang on. That is a... that's an error on my... And you know what? For all you people that voted on that poll as well, not one person told me that I'd made that mistake. Let me do it again. I can't believe no one's told me I've done that. There you go. Like, the actual poll's in there now with the proper answers up or down. Why did no one tell me I'd done that? SMFC has been making cheese images of Bitcoin. I read Leicester. Well, you look forward to seeing that on the Crypto Saving Expert Twitter account. But yeah, let's see what's been going on anyway on the watch list. over the past day or so. We've got Sol, obviously with really good relative strength on Sol. It's regaining some of its strength that, for the most part, it lost after its deep pullback. So yeah, Sol's up 1.28% today, but as you can see, very close to yesterday's high. We've got ADA up a couple of percent. We've got AVAX up 3.5%. Big up AVAX, there we go. And we was looking at what was we doing on AVAX here? Okay, so I was looking at this bit. It appears on AVAX. So yeah, maybe I don't know. I don't know whether we're currently testing the monthly open. So maybe, as you can see, a rejection on monthly open. So yeah, if we get above the monthly open, perhaps we are continuing this rally. But really nice one caught by Stonksy there as well. Obviously long from Stonksy at around 1950. So there we go on that. Yes means up, no means down, Dave. Well, yeah, that appears what it was. Hello, Scotty. How we doing, my friend? BlackRock has expanded its money market fund to Solana. Very nice. Afternoon to you, Gold Sniper. Justin, bullish. Bullish on Justin for sure, man. Streams epic, aren't they? I think, we get a lot of people looking forward to them Monday streams now to see what Justin's going to bring us, what his thoughts are on the market. Obviously, after another week of price action unfolding, so really good. Take profit one on Mavi hit, very nice. And we do have SMFC in the chat. Hello to you. You should be able to. Let me see if you're unmuted. Yeah, you're unmuted, so you should be able to speak. If you wish. Are you there?
Am I connected to my headphones?
You are. I can hear you. I can hear you, yes. I think everyone else will be able to hear you as well. I can hear you. You can't hear him. Big up. Let me just. Right. Are you all good now, Dean?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you. Let's just have everyone else confirm in the chat that they can hear you. Can everyone confirm that you can hear him? Can everyone hear him? Let's just wait for some comments to come through. We want to make sure everyone can hear you, and then we'll start this nice little... So for anyone who wasn't here at the start, this is going to be a discussion around the Stonksy bot. So Dean is going to give a little introduction, a few different topics around the Stonksy bot, but mostly moving on to explaining these new parts of the bot coming to users. So yeah, should be very informative. And yeah, just let me make a little note of the time because I'm gonna obviously get this clipped up.
13.
Yeah. Right. Right. Okay. Yes. So, welcome to the stream, Dean. Thank you very much for coming on.
No problem.
Yeah. So I think probably for anyone in the audience that doesn't know. Well, I assume everyone knows that we run a bot, or maybe they don't. Maybe we could just give a little outline of what the bot is and how it works and maybe what the benefits are to users for, obviously coming in and being whitelisted for the bot.
Sure. So the bot, a bot in general is an automated software program which trades sort of on your behalf based on some trading algorithm or theory or something you put behind it. Our bot trades purely on what Stonksy tells it to do, which works through TradingView. over the last month, I think it's about a month to the day, to be honest, since it started running. We've been operating the bot on long and shorts, on the red and green color changes, on the background, on the hour chart, on Bitcoin only. I think it's been a relatively successful trial, let's say, where I think we've hit basically every single trade on the whole, apart from some issues which have now been sort of fixed from our end, fixed from BLOFIN's end, so there's no issues with the bot from now on. The idea was we set up the bot on the 1 hour, we can track it, we can see what it's doing, we can see when it's supposed to go long, we can see when it's supposed to go short, we can see how it affects people's trading, we can see if the copy trades actually work. It's all been a work in progress for the past month to check it's all good, and now we are happy that everything appears to be hunky-dory with the bot. We can now start playing around with it and using some more exciting aspects of Stonksy rather than just the 1 hour chart, because I can appreciate it's slow, it's a bit boring. It does take a while for it to get going sometimes. I think it was a week before it did the first trade, which, you know, we can't influence Stonksy to make a trade on just because we wanted to make a trade, but it took a week for Stonksy to make a trade on that one, which, I mean, I think it was a successful trade, but I can't remember. So it's all been a bit of a blur this past month. But yes, it's been a busy month, working hard, making it all nice and good, and we have got lots of changes that are going to be coming through this week.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a massive, you know, obviously on your end as well. For those of you that maybe don't know, obviously, Dean is like Pud says in the chat, the wizard behind Stonksy, doing all the developments and work across the indicator and the bot. So yeah, I know on his end, it's been a huge, and that's probably an understatement, amount of work and effort put into it to make it possible, and obviously bring this new feature to users, because obviously since the start of Stonksy, any developments, you know, whether it be actual indicator updates or, you know, bringing the Discord to users or, you know, the bot itself, that's all come, you know, free of charge. We've never upped the cost of users or charged them an additional fee or anything. Everything's been part of the package. So every step that we've done and you know, development that we've worked towards, and obviously all this effort that's been put into the bot, and now, you know, listening to feedback, obviously making sure it's all working, and just trying to make sure that users, you know, are being heard with. Obviously, like you mentioned, you know, the 1 hour chart. It's not the most frequent one, although of recent, it's been really, really good in catching. Obviously, you know, Bitcoin's been getting a lot of volatility recently. The opportunity to long and short has come quite frequent, as opposed to, you know, these periods that we see on Bitcoin where we can get a lot of sideways action and the price trading in a minimal range. That we've obviously been getting an increased amount of volatility, which is always good for the market if you want to try and catch both sides. So, yeah, but obviously moving on to maybe for those of you that don't have Stonksy in the audience, maybe we could just give them a brief outline of when they sign up to Stonksy, exactly how the bot works, and, you know, how they get access to following the bot, and then we'll move on to the new stuff then.
Okay, so at current moment in time, the bot works by a system of alerts on TradingView, which are set up to alert the bot when there's been a change in the background color. So there's 6 alerts for each different change. So red to green, green to red, you know, the whole way through. I don't need to outline all of them, which does mean that I've got quite a lot of alerts going on my TradingView at any one time, which does get annoying. So I'll go through my phone as well, so it's always pinging, which is a bit annoying. But it then sends these alerts to the bot, which then is hooked up to BLOFIN, and then sends the trades through onto BLOFIN, which then operates it through the copy trade, which then sends everyone long or short, or whatever it is that the bot has determined that it should do at that point in time. Users sign up by sending me or Dave the BLOFIN UID, and I just add it into the copy trade. It's not that difficult. There is some quirks with BLOFIN and the setup on the user's end. You can use copy trade, a smart copy or traditional copy trade, which has caused some issues for some people sometimes. But I think, well, we've got the full instructions in Discord, which outline that. But I've run my stuff on both smart copy and traditional, and so long as you're not trying to trade with more money in the account, it works.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, I mean, that's a great description of it. And the main benefit for that is obviously, alongside it being done automatically, it's not like the user has to, we go, okay, you've got access to the bot, then you have to set it up or connect it to an exchange or whatever. The benefits of running it through copy traders, you get whitelisted for it. You then obviously put funds in the account of our copy trade, and then it's all done. Then it opens, closes, all that good stuff on behalf of you. So it's completely, stress free on your end in terms of managing it, because there is no management. Once you're whitelisted and you've dedicated funds into it on the account, you're all set to go then. So
you can put in the take profits and stop losses as well, because we have been running it without. That's going to be something that's going to change going forward. But for the past month, it's been running with no stop loss, no take profit.
Yeah, and obviously, like you mentioned, then there is a manual side. If you go on the copy trade and Stonksy's caught a nice position, you can also manually close that if you want to, and then all that'll happen is you'll then just wait for the next trade to trigger. So say like Bitcoin's obviously in this green background at the moment. If you go on, maybe even now or yesterday, and you thought, oh, that's a nice, that's a nice amount of profit, I want to close it there. You could opt to manually close it, and then obviously your next trade would trigger when the next background comes along then. So there is still a feel of manual capabilities around it, like Dean said, then take profit and stop loss. But also, you can manually close the trade as well if you want to, if you just want to take what's on the table and then wait for the next trade to trigger.
You can be as active or as passive as what you want.
Exactly.
It's quite nice.
Yeah,
as opposed to the alternative, which would be setting everyone up with an API and.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
Fills me with dread.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a lot easier and a lot more beneficial on both sides, I suppose, to run it via copy trading, because it makes it that much more easier. A bot is meant to be autonomous in it, but also, if you were using it, directly yourself, there would still be management around that. It works perfectly. It's a perfect mixture. So obviously, I think that leads us on now to the new iteration of things that are coming. I know obviously you put a Medium article out yesterday, didn't you? And then I think you've dropped maybe a brief explanation into the Discord as well. But I think if we just cover, exactly what is new that's going to be coming around the bot. Any new features or what it will bring and how it will benefit users that are using the bot.
So the bot's going to operate on a sort of, I'd say completely different, but it's not. It's going to be working on a different system. So currently it's got this complex system of different alerts, which if I accidentally pause one of the alerts, it stops the bot from working, which does get a bit annoying. But I think it's only happened once, which is fine, and it didn't affect anything from happening, so that's okay. But yeah, now it's going to be, instead of working on a system of alerts, it's going to be based off a strategy, which is advantageous for us in many ways. It allows us to set one alert, and then the dynamic code submits the alert to the bot based on what Stonksy's told it. So let's say Stonksy's told it, let's go long 3x with 25% of equity. That's what will be sent to the bot, and that's the trade that will be triggered. That will be based on one alert, which is dynamic. So if it wants to go short, it just tells it to go short. If it wants to close the trade, it tells it just to close the trade. It simplifies it a large amount on the back end, which should reduce any of these silly little errors that will happen every so often. It also allows us possibly the most advantageous thing, which is to do strategy testing on any strategy that gets put on Stonksy's bot. This allows us to backtest the data as far as what trading viewers will let us backtest, which I think if you go on some of them, it goes right back to like 2013, doesn't it, Dave?
Yeah.
So that is a powerful tool that's going to really help us make the bot as well informed as possible when it makes its trades.
Yeah, smashing. I mean that. Yeah, it's gonna definitely provide its benefits as opposed to the current what we've currently got going on. And like you said, it's going to allow switching up of strategies and stuff like that. Is that correct?
Yeah. So basically, we've gone from think of it like a human, like a human that goes long with 10 quid, as opposed to now we've got an informed, educated bot that will go, oh, I like this, let's go along with 25% and we'll send up increase the leverage because it looks good. It's much more intelligent. It's thinking what it's doing without it's thinking before it does it, which is much better, and is going to make my life a lot easier.
Yeah, that's good.
It's the back testing that I think is the main advantage, really, because everything can be validated with data. The more data we've got, the more we can prove what we're going to do is correct, and the more correct it's going to be, the more everyone's going to win. Yeah, smashing. I mean, if anyone does have any questions, do drop them in the chat now. If you if you want to ask anything about the bot, or maybe whatever's on your mind, if you've got anything, do ask them now. But I suppose maybe one area of the bot that people will be wondering is how will the time frame be changed? Because obviously, like we mentioned at the start, around this initial period has been focused on the 1 hour, so we can iron out any sort of errors or anything we need to flatten out before obviously a lower time frame causes more trades, which if anything's going wrong can be a lot to handle. But obviously now we've had this first month or so, will this new form of bot that we'll be using, will that be lower in the time frame, or what will we be moving on to? The 1 hour bot's been great because it only does its trades at the o'clock. It's predictable. You can see exactly when it's going to do what it's going to do, which has been really good for bug fixing. But yeah, we will be changing that. As it's going to be all data driven, I think the first time frame, which is currently already listed, it's currently already operating, but it's not hit a trade since I listed it on Friday. That's going to be a low risk one. But yeah, so I will do this bit first. The feedback from people was, we want high risk, we want more trades, we want more leverage, we want more equity risked. This means I think we can operate 2 separate bots, one being a higher risk one being a lower risk one. A higher risk one obviously is going to have a much lower time frame than an hour. Even the lower risk one, that's going to be changed as well. Currently, the lower risk one that I've got operating is on the 10-minute and the 6-minute, looking for agreements between both time frames before it enters trades. But the higher risk one, I've just been tinkering with it this morning. I've not finalized the strategy we're going to be doing on that one yet, but it will be shorter.
Yeah,
it will be more. I don't know which one yet though. I don't want to stay in and say like 5 minutes and then suddenly it's going to be like 3 minutes. I don't know which exactly one it's going to be, but
fantastic. Yeah, superb. Pelin has asked about whitelist. Yes, so if you've just joined, we will. You can reach out if you want to first, but yeah, we just need your BLOFIN UID number. So if you've just joined, Pelin, I'll have a look at that after the stream. But if you do want to email us in, or obviously when you're in the Discord, I can get that off you. But yeah, pretty much we just need your BLOFIN UID number, that's all. And Satoshi asked, what percentage of funds does the bot typically trade with? So I think maybe there's obviously 2 areas to cover here, isn't there, Dean? There's obviously the area, well, maybe 3. Obviously what it's been doing at the moment with smart copy. Then obviously the mixture with, some people have been using traditional, haven't they? And then obviously this new part, which I think you said, might use, was it 25%? Or I'll let you explain it anyway.
Yeah. So initially the bot, I was aiming for it to be 15% of the total equity in each trade. But I don't. Yeah, I mean the first bot is a bit stupid and didn't quite understand it. So it, instead of hitting the 15%, it varies a little bit, which I've improved it now. It doesn't do that anymore. It's no longer as stupid, but it was quite a stupid bot. The new one is it works it out inside the bot before it submits any trades, the maths behind how much it's going to use in equity, and then it will submit based on that amount of equity, based on the maths that it's done, basically. But users don't need to follow what the bot does. If you use smart copy, you will copy the percentage of equity that what the bot uses exactly. But if you use the traditional settings, you can change that to whatever you sort of want, really. Going forward, we'll aim for 25% unless it really doesn't go well, because I think that's a nice balance between using all of it, as some people want, and not going mental. I think that's the sensible option. But if you want to use all of it, there's ways that you can manipulate the traditional settings to use all of it. So on my personal copy trading account, I've been putting 100% of the equity in each trade by using what's it called, the cost per order on traditional settings, which I'll just load it up on my phone. If you select the fixed amount, you can change the cost per order just below your total investment. That will put in basically the full amount in each trade if you want to do that. I'm only playing with like $50 in this account, so I've been lumping it all on. If you've got more than that, you probably don't want to do that. But you can also change the leverage within BLOFIN. It's why it's quite a nice platform to have lined up with, because it's a lot of customization for the users and how they want to do their own trading.
Yeah, fantastic. That was a very good explanation. So, Satoshi, that should have answered your question perfectly.
Do you reckon that's the real Satoshi?
Who knows? Who knows? It'd be great to have you in the Discord if it is. Do make sure you sign up. But yeah, I think. Well, I mean, for me, I don't think there's anything else that I think we need.
Forgetting about what we're going to be doing in the future.
Well, yeah, go on.
I
was thinking I didn't want to put you on the spot for anything that I've not said previously that we was going to discuss, and then just go right. What's coming in 3 months or something like that. But yeah, if you want to discuss anything that might be going on in the future, yeah, I mean, you take the floor.
Oh, I mean, I can't guarantee it's going to be in exactly 3 months. I was aiming for a bit faster than that, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I get you. The intention is to create a kind of brain for Stonksy. At present, Stonksy can look at a single time frame or a single strategy and can't compare anything. And it goes, this works for doing this trading, and it will give you this much profit at the end of the month, sort of vibe. Whereas if we create a brain for Stonksy, where Stonksy can store the data that it gets from past strategy tests inside a big brain, and then it'll be able to compare strategies against strategies, and time frames against time frames. Time frames against time frames might be a bit tricky, but strategies against strategies is very, very doable as a comparison thing. So this will mean we can pull the data from Stonksy, shove it in Stonksy's brain. Stonksy's brain can read the data and then spit out what it deems to be the best time frame or best strategy or the best whatever for the next month or so. We can then hook it up with something like the Trading View calendar, which is based on an API, which you can pull that data. You can then plug that into Stonksy's brain, and Stonksy's brain can look at what happened on the previous, let's say, CPI day. What happened last CPI day? How did it react? What was the best strategy on the last CPI day? And then using its brain, we'll be able to figure out when the last CPI day was, what the best strategy for that day was, and how best to approach the upcoming CPI day. It's an ambitious idea, but I think it's a doable idea. I can't think why I wouldn't be able to do it. So I don't know if 3 months is a reasonable target, but that is the next aim for me, to give Stonksy a brain.
Yeah, I mean that's extremely exciting. I wasn't. I'm not sure if I was even aware of that, but yeah.
Oh, I spoke about it in the analytics chat.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Of course,
It's developed from that initial idea, because
Yeah.
obviously I've got a brain and I've got an imagination, and you know, if I can think it, I can make it.
Yeah, I mean that's it, and you know, like you said, it's an ambitious target, but you know that is the sole purpose of everything, you know, that we've done so far, isn't it? Is to just keep developing it, make it the best product that we can. So, you know, I imagine this is probably a thought that you've had in you know, thinking this up, but you know, why stop here, or you know, why stop wherever? You know, if we can carry on pushing it and making it better, I mean, that sounds like it will be, you know, incredible if you even manage to pull it off, which I'm sure you're gonna give it your best shot. But if you can give Stonksy a brain and make it a living thing, you know, quote unquote. But yeah, I think I mean, that's certainly exciting to look forward to. So I hope everyone is sat with the jaws on the floor now, going, "Wow, wow."
Hopefully, if not, it's fine. I
Yeah,
mean,
no.
it's a fun project to try do. There's a lot of data involved. The new strategy that we've got on Stonksy allows us to add so many different variables in. I'll need a team of people pulling data just for me to do that, but you know, we'll get there.
Yeah, fantastic. That's brilliant. Obviously we've had past, present, future discussion around the bot. If anyone does have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat now. But big thank you for coming on, Dean. I mean, that is, you know, miles above and beyond of a better explanation of what I'd have been able to give.
I'm sure
everyone. Scotty just wants to thank us for the hard work and dedication. Well, no, thank you. Obviously, you know, this is all for the benefit of users and providing, you know, more value, a better product, and yeah, just, you know, making Stonksy the best it can be. Which at the end of the day is, you know, to make it the best. If we can reach the best product on the market of its kind, and obviously for you users, you know, anyone who's paying to use Stonksy, you know, obviously you guys will want the best product and you know, the best features. So that's why you know, we've not stopped developing, and we've just moved on from thing to thing as we've gone on since the start. So yeah, we'll see obviously where we end up, but if Dean's master plan comes off, I'm sure it will be a fantastic place with Stonksy's brain. So yeah, it should be fun. We are getting a nice Bitcoin pump as well, as we've been obviously discussing this. We had US Open, which I think Bitcoin's tailed off a couple of $100 since US Open. But overall,
you didn't do the bell.
Yeah, I know. Well, I didn't want to do it in the middle. You know, stop what we're doing. Ring the bell.
Oh, you should have stopped there.
Yeah. So that's been great. I think that might be all, unless you've got anything else maybe you feel like you want to run through, Dean.
All good from me. I think we hit everything that I can think of.
Yeah.
As soon as I've got the higher risk strategy put together, I'll knock up another little Medium article for everyone, outlining what we're going to do from now on.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Fantastic.
That'll be later in the week.
Wiz says bright times ahead for Stonksy. Yes, certainly, absolutely, and yeah, I mean, it's going to be fun, innit? You know, it's going to be fun to see just where it ends up. But Webs3 Spud says CSE articles are boss, especially on Stonksy. Yeah, and for anyone also, you know, interested in reading about it, it is been put in the Discord. But if you go to the Stonksy website and you scroll down on any of the pages on the website and click the Medium button, you will be able to find the article that was posted up yesterday as well, if you just want to have a read of it as well. But I'm going to be clipping up this section of the stream and putting it on YouTube as well. So, you know, you can go back and watch it on the live stream too if you want to rewind and listen to it again. But yeah, that's fantastic. Big thank you for coming on, Dean. Appreciate it. And I'm sure everyone else has appreciated you coming and giving a full, in-depth description of it. Straight from the horse's mouth or wizard's mouth, whichever one you want.
That could be either. What about a wizard horse?
Yeah, for what is going on exactly with the bot. And yeah, for anyone else, obviously, you know, you'll get updates in Discord, or, you know, if you've got any questions on the bot and stuff like that, you know, you can put in as usual, as everyone has been doing. But I think that's pretty much it. So if you want to, I mean, you're more than welcome to. Yeah, I was gonna say you're more than welcome to stay on if you want to, but I've got a feeling probably you've got other things you might rather be doing.
Yeah, I've got to go make a brain, bro.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so I'll catch you soon, and yeah, big thank you again.
See you, man.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, so that was Dean, aka the Stonksy Development Wizard. Great, you know, explanation of the bot in general. You know, from start to finish, how it works, what we've been rolling with up to now. I'm going to have to get a drink because I've not been able to grab a drink really since started streaming, which has been over an hour. So it won't be a second. But yeah, you know, great description of what's been going on with the bot from start to finish. And then, yeah, you know, provided a great amount of detail on what we'll be looking at for future product and, you know, future benefits. Let's go and have a look, see what's been going on lower time frame. So it looks like Bitcoin's getting a bit of suppression at the moment. We did go up as close to nearly $88,000. And then, yeah, we've been tailing off a little bit since then. So where are we coming into? So it looks like, yeah, Bitcoin is rejected kind of from this low time frame range that it formed yesterday. Obviously, we had this form here, then price come back down, and then use the same level as support yesterday, low time frame. As you can see, this formed the tail off here. Then we had 1 touch of support, 2 touch, 3 touch, 4 touch, and then slam through. So that looks like where Bitcoin and why it's rejected from there for the meantime. However, I do suspect, you know, why come up all this way and stop there? Why not come and sweep all these stops and liquidity above here? That's my rationale and what I'm thinking. So we'll see if that comes to fruition or not. Ooh. Right, let's get a little drink. But what shall we look at next? What shall we look at next? You let me know in the chat. We'll have a little look to see what ETH's doing. We'll have a little look to see what the rest of the market is doing as well. Right. Okay, so yeah, like I mentioned, we got Bitcoin. ETH. What has ETH been doing? Kind of around the same thing, isn't it? Kind of around the same thing. Kind of rejecting kind of where it found low time frame support yesterday as it was distributing. We got Sol just on an absolute ripper, isn't it? Like I mentioned before with Sol Strength. Sol Strength is certainly back at the moment. Ripping to new highs for the week. Obviously flying above its Monday high, something Bitcoin and ETH hasn't done yet. So up 3% on Sol today. AVAC's gone up a little bit more. A really nice position caught by Stonksy on the 5 minutes as well today. That's up 4%. Just turn my foot massager on. Let's scroll through the list. Anything else sticking out? Ondo's up nicely. Render's up 7%. That's a great rally by Render. If we go back and have a look. Obviously from Sunday where everything started to rally. Render's up huge. Really nice rally on Render. ENA's up 6%. And obviously we've got this Mavia, which Wiz has been shorting. We go and have a look at Mavia. Obviously got a huge pump. Whoa, I think this was kind of similar to the auction move, maybe, where it just come out of nowhere and just started pumping. I'm not too sure. But obviously a huge pump last week. And then obviously, you know, slow bleed, distribution down. Then looked like it flattened off and then bang, just straight away again. Really fast and aggressive to the upside. Bitcoin is selling off quite aggressively now, yeah. Quite aggressive sell-off on Bitcoin from US Open. We've had a little tail off on the S&P 500, maybe providing some pressure. But that long upper wick on the hourly, anyway, is not a nice sight. So yeah, Mavia, massive volatility of recent. But yeah, Wiz put in the Stonksy Discord that he was shorting this morning and managed to catch a really nice move on it. Are we going to get push up on Bitcoin now? Do make sure you all drop a big thumbs up on the stream. Do subscribe if you're new. And if you want to trade anything today, do make sure you click that first link in the description and sign up to BLOFIN. But yeah, are we going to push back up on Bitcoin now? Obviously, we've had... This was the candle, 5-minute candle on US Open, pushed up. Then we've had sell-off. Are we going to now push back up to the upside? Or are we going to crash and burn in a pit of hell? Who knows? But yeah, as you can see, this is aligning pretty perfectly with Bitcoin sell-off. So what do we want to see? Well, we want to see strength on the S&P now. Like I mentioned before, I think we probably carry on into mid 580s before we tail off. But let me know in the chat what you'd like to see covered. Should we have a look? We'll have a look on... Let's have a look at any news, actually. Let's see if there's been anything interesting. eToro is going to... attempt to IPO. Not much. There was some big news today about BlackRock launching. Yeah, this was it. Launches Bitcoin ETP in Europe. That's pretty big. Pump Fund's new DEX reaches 1 billion volume a week after launch. Blimey. Movement Network to buy back tokens in with 38 million recovered from rogue market maker. So I'm guessing is that move. I'm guessing that's move, yeah. Binance froze the market maker's proceeds after detecting that it sold 66 million move tokens, provided little in buy orders. So yeah, this was Binance. They said that they wasn't working with one of the market makers anymore. And this seems like it was mostly around the move token. So yeah, some big buying pressure looks like it's going to be coming to move soon. What else have we got going on? Anything else? Massive Bitcoin whale buys 200 million in Bitcoin. Another wakes up after 8 years. That's something we see regularly, isn't it? But that's pretty much it. And Bitcoin again is looking like any upwards momentum is being suppressed. But it's all about patience. It's all about patience, isn't it? Again, we are still in the first 20 minutes or so of US market opening. But yeah, we are tumbling down. We're tumbling down. So it'll be interesting to see what happens today. Because, yeah, I was expecting another push up to clear this liquidity above Monday high and stops. But at the moment, it's looking like Bitcoin might be suffering a bit of weakness. But let me know in the chat what you guys would like me to cover next. What would you like me to look at? Obviously, for anyone who does want to get Stonksy, you can get 20% off with code BOT20. So that is in the description for you. But that is one long upper wick now, isn't it? How long's left on a 4-hourly candle? 2 hours on the 4-hour candle. Open bunch of shorts earlier, but shut it and closed. Kind of feel like I should have let them ride. Where did you open them? I mean, it depends where you open them, I suppose. If you opened them down here, then you were probably right to close. I mean, that is one horrible looking hourly candle, isn't it? That is one horrible looking hourly candle. Look at the state of that. Sui, yeah, I can look at Sui, GM, Stonksy on the 5-minute. Yeah, it's been really good, hasn't it, mate? Great to see you, Coffee. How are we doing, my friend? Yeah, Stonks been great on the 5-minute recently. Some really, really nice catches. Yes, Kev, we can have a look at Sui. Let's go take a look at it. Where is Sui? So, this was the level that I've been watching personally. This 238 level. Which looks like Sui's reclaimed now. I think for on the daily, we've obviously got a bit of a push up to go until we reach the monthly open. We came into... Oops. Last time... my keyboard's not working. Hang on. I'll have to use this one. We came into, obviously, trouble in this area last time. Obviously, pushing up here on the 4-hourly candles. But I would like to see... yeah, some momentum at least towards the monthly open on Sui. But again, I think same applies as we've discussed previously. I mean, for me anyway, you know, maybe it's not the same for everyone, but for me, I like this level as a good pivot point for Sui. And as we can see, you know, looking on the 4-hour as well as the daily, the pivot around it, you know, you've got support coming in here for the closes. You've then got price constantly being slammed into here, rejection. We get above once and then slam below, rejection here again, all along here. Flip above, it becomes support, drops back below. So, yeah, for me, I like this level as the pivot. But yeah, we need to obviously clear where supply came in last time in here. And then I think we probably run towards the monthly open. Is my thoughts on it anyway. So yeah, that's what I'm looking for Sui. Are we getting some... oh, here we go. Maybe it's getting a bit better for Bitcoin now. Oh yeah, there we go. Some buying pressure coming in. I would be nervous to open a trade right now until there's confirmation up or down. Yeah, unless you're already in a trade, of course. But yeah, I wouldn't be opening one here I am maybe looking to get into a short in 89s if we get there. So I want a push above Monday high, maybe push into 89s. And then for me, I think the risk, because obviously the logical thing is to push to 91, 92 in terms of, retesting resistance and retesting, Bitcoin's resolve, pushing into this key level. But isn't that what everyone's waiting for? I think maybe forming a lower high, maybe in the 89s, is not a bad shout. I mean, you can always just be wrong on a trade, can't you? So there's nothing wrong with that. But that's what I'm thinking anyway. That's what I'm leaning towards. What about you, Math? What are you thinking? What are you thinking, Math? Nothing's loading. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking anyway. I'm thinking, if we was to draw it again, I know we drew it before, but push up here, maybe up here, and then maybe mess around a bit, and then back below. And then I think then, if we go to, say if we go and let's just turn this off for a second, and we'll go to, say, the 4 hour. We obviously have this nice little channel that we're rolling within at the moment. So we've got this nice little channel that we're rolling in with Bitcoin as well. So potentially, we come up, slam into that again. We are, if we break it, then yeah, I would say 91, 92K is on. But for me, it would come clear yesterday, come up here, maybe trap some longs and then clear it down. And then maybe clear it back down towards the Monday low. Maybe retesting the bottom of this channel again. It's something maybe to watch out for. I don't know. I'm thinking it's lunchtime. Very nice, mate. Very nice. Catching the range top or bottom sounds like the way. Seems a bit mid-range at the moment. We'll see what happens. But yeah, this is one thing I'm thinking. Obviously, you can have many things, can't you? It's always good to have plans for different things. But yeah, it's kind of something I'm thinking. We'll see. We'll see if we get there or not. We have to get there first, don't we? We have to get there and do it first. We could always just blow into 91, 92. We could even reclaim the range. I mean, who's to say that we don't head for the yearly open? If we go and have a look on Bitcoin, let's go to... Where should we look at? I think maybe the daily. Should we look at the daily? Yeah, I mean, you've got, obviously, range low, yearly open. But then you've obviously got clear resistance up here, haven't we? If you look around this mid-range, you've got resistance all along here, flips to support. It's a clear pivot point, with it being its name, the mid-range, in the middle of the range. All along here is where it capped price. So if you're looking at it, you've got obviously liquidity above here being the all-time high. You got liquidity above here. You've got liquidity above here for sure. You've got liquidity definitely above here. And you've obviously got liquidity above there. But I would say probably they're the big four, I would imagine. So, yeah, I mean, who's to say that you don't come up and just completely have a full run of liquidity? We could always do something like this, couldn't we? We could always come up, reclaim the range, and, whichever direction it goes, but, completely just run full extension of the lower of the range, so range low to mid-range, and then who's to say we don't come back and do something like that? That's entirely possible as well, isn't it? Or it doesn't have to be a bearish outlook. Obviously, the main objective is to reclaim the range low. As long as that holds, yeah, to the mid-range. But then Who's to say, we don't maybe come down, maybe retest the yearly open, or, obviously some wherever you want in the lower part of the range, and then come up, reclaim the mid range, and then start heading back towards the range highs. Who's to say we don't do that? Anything is possible. It's just how probable something is, isn't it? Anything is possible. It's just how probable. Yeah. What are your thoughts in the chat? I want to know everyone else's thoughts. Let me know your thoughts. I'm going to close this poll as well. I don't even know what the poll closed at, to be honest. But what are we having anyway? I had 54% of people say up. I mean, we did have one 5-minute candle that went up, but then pretty much the rest of the open was down, weren't it, until now? So I think, let's see. So we had this candle on open, which went up and then down, but then we had 15 minutes of down. And then, so for the first half an hour, well, we've actually closed lower. I'm going to give it lower. So anyone who said lower, well done. I'm going to give the right answer to the lower people. So well done if you put lower. Right. Well, I want to know what you guys want me to look at. What are we looking at? I'll tell you what, actually. I apologize, but I'm going to have to go for a minute. I need the toilet. So let me just... I'll leave the thing you on. Let me put... Why is that not done there? There we go. Right. Do not go anywhere, or... please. I'll be back in a minute. I just need to go to the toilet. It's Suey time. Yeah, we looked at Suey just then, Doodylicious. We looked at Suey just then. But I'll be back in a few minutes. I'm just going to the toilet. Don't go anywhere. I'll leave the Bitcoin chart on for you fine people to watch while I'm gone. Right, I'm back. Apologise for the wait, but as you can imagine, I needed that. How many have we got left? Oh, we've still got 24 people in. Oh, thank you all for staying. Who stayed? I appreciate that. Oh, wow, what did we have on Bitcoin while I was gone? Oh, actually, it was just this candle, wasn't it? I'm acting like I've been gone about 20 minutes. So we've had that candle, so we're now pushing up. But yeah, I think we're going to push up. I still think we're going to push up. I've not closed the long. Let's see what the long's doing. Let's see. So currently at $22. I think it was up to $30 when we was up here. But I want full take profit on this, I think. That will put us close to a 5% gain on the challenge account then. Which is decent, to be fair. We'll have made $250 over the past week. Which will mean we've upped it by 5%. So only another 95% to go, and then the challenge will be done. That's if we do come to full take profits up here. Where's Stonksy? I don't know why Stonksy wasn't on. Right, what was going on in the chat? Is it possible to use Stinky without a BLOFIN account? You can use the indicator, yeah. Like Math said, yeah, you can use the indicator because it just runs off TradingView, but you wouldn't be able to use the bot. You should create a BLOFIN account anyway, Pelin? It's the best non-KYC exchange. The first link in the description. It's non-KYC, so you only need to sign up with an email, so you may as well create one. I mean, if you want to take advantage of the bot, you'll have to create one anyway. But make sure you use the link in the description, yeah. But yeah, personally, I prefer to see this come to fruition if it's going to happen. I'd like to see a push up, take out yesterday's high, chop around maybe, and then completely just flush out back down towards 85, 84k. Whether we get that or not is obviously a different scenario. But that's what I would like to see. Maybe we get it, maybe we don't. Big poo, it was a big poo, you know. That's exactly what it was. And I enjoyed it. Let's see. Should we go and have a look at liquidity? Let's have a look. So we've got, here we go, yeah. So that lines up as well. Obviously 24-hour liquidity. The big chunk of it is residing above that Monday high. So in terms of a liquidity grab aspect, it would make sense to go into 89s. 1 week. Obviously, huge liquidity below 83 from where we began the run-up. 2-week liquidity. Let's see what we've got going on. Yeah, I mean, we'd clear some of that out, wouldn't we? We'd clear, a little chunk of this out upon going up there. And then, main liquidity down towards the lows. Let's have a look on a 3-month horizon, shall we? 100k, which lines up with what we looked at before, actually. That lines up perfectly with what we looked at before. 100k. Let's go and load up the 1-day chart. Was it this one that we looked at it on, yeah? Yeah, so this would line up perfectly with, potentially one of these plans coming. Let me move this out the way, hang on. Let's put that as a different thing. So this, doesn't have to happen now. We could chop around in this range for a while, couldn't we? We could come up here, then we could come back down, and then we could whatever before we reclaim here. But at some point, running into the mid-range, towards sweeping that high, this high here, lines up with what's showing on the liquidity heat map anyway. And then, obviously, to the downside, there's a lot of liquidity down towards, here, and then into 60s. But at the moment, we can only trade what we can trade, can't we? No point planning too far ahead. Just have to see how price action unfolds. But this is what I want. This is what I want. This is what I'm looking for. Whether we're going to get it or not is a different question. Right. So move all these. And then we'll go and have a look. I wonder if there's any big market movers today. Let's see. What has been one of the biggest daily gainers? So we're looking at the 24-hour in the middle. So you've got Solana up. Yeah. Oh, no, wait. Hang on. Is that just updated? Let me update it. Let me refresh. Right. So let's see. You've got Dogecoin up 5%. What is up the most? Hyperliquid down 4%. Obviously, we looked at Hyperliquid yesterday on stream with Justin. We got Crow up massively after that announcement yesterday. Now, Crow, they did something very sneaky with Crow, didn't they? So for those of you that don't know, in 2021, they burned 70% of Crow's supply. And then they've now reissued it. So that burn from 2021, suddenly it was 100 million. So here we go, yeah. So this is what was meant to be, the circulating supply. But now they've reissued pretty much all the rest of the Crow that was meant to have been burnt. Really weird. Strange thing to do. And obviously not good for anyone holding Crow if you are holding Crow. But it's good that, we got that announcement yesterday because it gave it a right old push. We've got Polygon. Let's see what have we got going on down here. We've got Story IP up 9% over the past day. Form up 14%. Berachain, massive over the past week, up 37%. Bera. It's one of the recent launches, isn't it? We've got Zcash. Yes, I mean nothing too major. Nothing too major in terms of movement wise. Is that even legal? I'm just gonna have to get a drink. Hang on. Well, I mean, is most things in crypto legal? No, I think what happened was, I think they kind of forced. We'll have to have a look. If anyone's got like a full proper knowledge of it, let me know. From what I haven't really got the full story, but all I know is that 70% of it was burned. They then reissued it. Now I think the reissuance was through a vote, but I think maybe they held most of the Crow, so obviously they got most of the vote or something. I don't know. If anyone's got the full knowledge of it, let me know in the chat. But the fact is, 70% got burnt in 2021, and 70% of the supply has been now reissued. So yeah, that's where we're at anyway. I think there was, I don't know. Oh no, it was about the story with Trump teaming up with them, wasn't it? That was the story on there. I could probably find a story on there, to be honest. You know what? Let's go and have a look, because we are waiting for Bitcoin to do something. And then we'll run through the market. We'll run through all the tickers. Well, we'll run through most of them that we've got on the right-hand side on the watch list to see what's going on. Let's see. Let's just type in Crow. So this was interesting. Yeah, seeing this as well today on Twitter. So ZachXBT has... this is a bit of it. So in 2021, 70 billion Crow were burned in one of the most significant burn transactions in history. Under today's proposal, an equal number of tokens will be reissued on Kronos into a Kronos Strategic Reserve escrow wallet, bringing the total supply back to the initial 100 billion. And what did ZachXBT say? Where is his thing? What did he say? Oh, he said Crow is no different from a scam. Your team just reissued 70 billion Crow a week ago that was previously burnt forever in 2021 and went against the community wishes as you control the majority of the supply. So yeah, that seems like what it was from what I said before. They put it to a vote, and because they had, you know, most of the weight in the vote, they could just pass it. So yeah, interesting. But I mean, this is crypto, isn't it? So it's very well. Yeah, it's centralized because 100% because it's a centralized exchange token, isn't it? Crow. It's the exchange token of crypto.com. So yeah, it is a centralized coin, yeah. It's the exchange token of crypto.com, and as stated in that, they hold most of the circulating supply even before the reissuance. So they hold most of the supply that was in circulation from the 30% remaining. But then they'll also be able to manage that 70% that's going to be moved into a strategic reserve. That's going to be the new thing now, isn't it? You just know that's going to be the new thing is we need a strategic reserve for our coin or something like that. Is that what it? That's probably what it's going to be now, isn't it? You know, we need to up the max supply. Why? Oh, we need a strategic reserve. Interesting. I didn't realize I didn't have my camera on. Oh, it's because I had a drink, wasn't it? Yeah, I'm sat there here going like this when I'm saying strategic reserve. I'm sat there going, yeah, we need a strategic reserve. We need a strategic reserve. No, you don't. No, you don't. You just want more money. Yeah, I'd sell out of that project. Do you know what? I actually used to have. I know Save with Crypto still has it, but I used to have the Crypto.com card. So what happened was, you used to have to stake a certain amount of Crypto.com Crow coin, and then you could qualify for different levels of card. So then, obviously, depending on what level card you had, depending on how much cash back you got back. And I think the highest one I had was the Ruby one, and it was quite cool because it was a metal card. So I think it was about, I don't quote me on it, but I think it was about 4% back you got on each transaction in Crow. But it was pretty decent because around the time that I staked it, so I think it was about a 6-month lockup to lock up the Crow, so you got the benefits. But during that time, the Crow that I locked up went like 4x. So then the whole time I was getting obviously rewards back. And then when my Crow unlocked, I thought, well, am I actually going to get as much cash back as if I just sold this now as a 4x? So I decided to just sell it, and then obviously then I wasn't eligible to get the cash back because I hadn't staked the Crow. So I just stopped using it, and then I moved on to Plutus, which I think Plutus had a big run up. I know TMG, if TMG is still in the chat, TMG was the one. I remember watching his video on Plutus, which is why I got the card. And I thought Plutus was great around the last bull run. The card was fantastic. You got really good rewards for it. But then I think I can't remember why I stopped using it. I think it just like they made it a bit complicated to use. But I mean, it's had a big push up, hasn't it? Let's see what it's been doing over the past 7 days. Okay, so from 81, yeah, so it's had a really good. So it's up 65% over the past week, Plutus. But yeah, I mean, it was really good. And to be honest, I think for the whole time I was using Plutus, I think I got about £1,000 back in Plutus. I think. Oh, look at that, actually. It went up. It went all the way up to 185. So that was a big old rally, wasn't it? From 70 cents earlier this month, well, about a week ago. So that went up about 2.5x. But yeah, Plutus was a really good one. I think Plutus was probably one of my favorite crypto cards I had. Didn't it used to be like $8 a coin? I think it was up at like 12. Plutus has a lot of issues internally. I would not use it. No, I don't use. I haven't used it in Plutus. I haven't used in about must be about two years or something like that. If you Google Plutus scam or even on YouTube, there are quite a few videos. Yeah, I haven't used Plutus in about 2 years. So it's something like that. It's a long time ago. I just stopped using it because they did an update and it was like a bit more. It was like a few extra steps to put money on it and stuff like that. And I just thought, well, I'll just take all the rewards that I generated and I just sold them. When was the last time you actually used any crypto? What, to like buy something with? I can't remember the last time I used a crypto card, to be honest. I need to have a look to see. I've been wanting to use the Zig card for ages. I know this is something I've discussed on stream for a while. I just haven't got around to getting it or setting it up or whatever. But I've been wanting to use the Zig card because I heard decent things about the Zig card. But there's plenty of options out there, isn't there, for crypto cards? I just haven't used one in a while. But yeah, I mean, what I used to use, yeah, I had good experience with Crow and Plutus, but I haven't used them in years. So, like TMG says, it sounds like they've got issues and that. So, but yeah, a couple of years ago, good. It was good, but yeah, I definitely probably wouldn't be using them now. There's definitely some good options out there. Maybe we have a look at that on stream one time. Right, let's go and have a look, see what's going on. We got ETH. What we're doing on ETH. We've come up, obviously struggling to get around this level. This is, where we built low time frame support yesterday. ETH's an interesting one in it, yeah, because we need to reclaim $2,100 for a daily close, in my opinion. So we need to reclaim this level. But it's not going to do that on its own. So ETH needs Bitcoin really badly because of how weak ETH is against Bitcoin still. So if we do regain this, the issue I've got with ETH is if we regain this, no doubt I think we'd get a good reaction as long as Bitcoin behaved. So like I was mentioning before, probably straight up to the monthly open. If we get above there, I think this $2,300 region's pretty decent. And then potentially maybe up to 2,500. But ETH needs Bitcoin to provide that strength for it. Whereas, say ETH goes up and reclaims this for a daily close today or tomorrow or whenever. If Bitcoin dumps back down to 85, 84k, whatever, ETH's not going to hold that level then. It's just, it's going to dump back below. Even though this is a key SR level, ETH really needs Bitcoin strength. So ETH needs Bitcoin to go to 90s, 91, 92, 93k to give a squeeze like this on it. I know it has been around for a few cycles. Nah, just in general, I haven't used anything in crypto for ages. Used Jupiter yesterday, if that's what you mean. Last time I liked DeFi farming. If you mean just using any sort of crypto protocol, I used Jupiter yesterday. If that's what you mean. But yeah, so that's where we're up to with ETH. Let's go and have a look at XRP. Yeah, I mean XRP for me is pretty much of the same. We're still in this range, aren't we? We're still in this range. I mean, really, there's probably a case for pulling the range down to there, to be honest, and then maybe extending like a sort of supply up to here. But we'll just keep it there for now for simplicity. But yeah, I mean, really, it doesn't look like we're going to break down unless Bitcoin really, really pulls back. So again, for XRP, it's literally just playing this range, or you could pull the range down there, and then you could have sort of this box where the price really comes into supply, perhaps. Let me just dim that a bit. So you could do something like that if you wanted to, but really, I mean, it's positioned well if Bitcoin is going to show strength. So if Bitcoin's going to show strength, it's positioned well to potentially break out. Sol, I mean, yes, Sol's going on its own, innit, at the moment again. We've obviously had a huge pullback on Sol from its all-time high. And it's kind of just going now. Now, we are coming into the monthly open, which is obviously where price found resistance before it fell off. I think then 160. Yeah, so 160 is kind of a key level, isn't it? You can see why, resistance, support. Again, retest here, bang, go. Support again, dipped in there to demand. You've probably, I think probably I'd pull that down to there now. Yeah. And then, yeah, it's just level by level, isn't it? It's all you can do is level by level. Let's go and have a look at lower time frame. Really nice catch by Stonksy there from Sunday, obviously from Sunday's pump. Do make sure you drop a like on the stream, and if you are new, subscribe. And if you haven't joined Stonksy yet, do make sure you click the link in the description with a nice discount code on there for you as well. Bot20 for 20% off your first month. Come and try us for a month. You get full indicator access, Discord access, and whitelisted for the trading bot, which, if you missed it today, me and SMFC went through in depth the bot, obviously what's the new stuff coming for users now, and then what's hopefully going to be coming in the future with him developing it. You can go and watch that. Now I've got the timestamp here for you if you want to go back after stream, but I will be getting it clipped up and posting it onto YouTube as a single video. It ran from 39 minutes 30 to 1 hour 3 minutes. So that's 39 minutes 30 to 1 hour and 3 minutes. If you want to go back and listen to that, it's well worth it. Keep hearing about ETH ETF staking. Yeah, so at the moment, I don't believe the ETFs are allowed to stake ETH because I think the previous SEC administration considered it as a security or something like that. But there was, I believe, I did see something not too long ago. There was talk of maybe changing it so the ETFs could stake ETH, which would then give an additional, 3-4% a year APY. The problem with the UK is every single you can do with crypto is a taxable event. Can you look at KMNO, please? Yeah, I can do that. Let's see. KMNO. Oh, is this Camino? Is this Camino? Is it the AMM? I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I need a chart with more data than that. Let's see. KMNO. USDT. Let's see. Let's go for the MEXC one. Yeah, Camino. Let's see. Okay, so... So what did we pull? Wow. Yeah, that's a monster pullback, isn't it? Let's see. So we pulled back roughly 82% from the December highs. I mean, that is something standard, isn't it? We've seen that across most coins. It's been getting a nice little push up of recent, obviously just following the market. You'll see a lot of altcoins, unless something is just showing strength on its own, like, say, for instance, Sol today or whatever. Everything will look similar to this because this is pretty much the pattern that Bitcoin has been putting in of recent is, just the rising channel. I mean, it's probably going to find a bit of trouble around here, isn't it? It's probably going to find a bit of trouble around here. If you're looking at it from a wider perspective, like in terms of a high time frame, the run up on it was very, very, very strong alongside the rest of the market. But perhaps, you'd be looking at it to pull into there. A bit lower. Yeah. That seems like the major one. You know, obviously you've got resistance, turn support, 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 resistance. So obviously this would be like low time frame, you know, an obstacle. I think probably reclaiming this point and then moving up. Would we be moving on up to? Around here looks like it'd be a bit troublesome for it, but then, you know, you got a yearly open up here as well. So, you know, maybe across here. But yeah, I mean, in terms of looking at the high time frame chart, I think reclaim this looks good. So yeah, there you go, Ian. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for the recommendation. Right, what we on to next? We've got Doge and ADA both up 3%. AVAX, we covered that before. Yeah, there's not too much that's moving on its own today, is there? Let's go down back to the hourly charts. Oops. Thought I clicked off that. Let's go back to the hourly charts. ENA. Yeah, there's nothing. There's nothing too much that's gone out on its own, is there? Doing its own thing. Obviously, Mavia, crazy price action on it. Superb catch by Stonksy as well. If you'll notice, Stonksy went green before Mavia really took off. Then we did have the bullish confirmation as well on the 1 hour. Obviously caught this wild move up. Then as price was distributing out of the green into the red, all this drop down and then into the green again. But yeah, crazy price action on Mavia. All right, what are we doing on Bitcoin? Okay, we are still looking like we're staying resilient, doesn't it? Obviously, any sort of sell-off that we had after US Open has been absorbed now. You know, we can see it if we go to the 5-minute chart. Where was it? Was it here? Was this it? Yeah, this was it, wasn't it? So obviously we had push up on US Open and then just drop. And then we have been pushing back up now. So we are around the level now of US Open. Obviously, this was the height within the first 5-minute candle, just below $88,000. But we are pushing up now, so it looks like we are going to keep squeezing. It looks like we're going to keep squeezing. Got 25 people in. Yeah, do make sure you drop a like on the stream if you haven't already. Yeah, we are. Looking like we got, yeah. I like this. I like it. The squeeze is looking nice. What shall we look at next? Maybe just stick on Bitcoin. Maybe just wait on Bitcoin for another couple of minutes, see if we're going to just get a new daily high. Let's see what SPX is doing. Yeah, so, SPX is squeezing back up. So obviously we got a sell-off on SPX on US Open and the 5-minute leading into it. But SPX is squeezing now. I think, and this is my personal opinion, I think we probably have more room to squeeze on SPX. So if we go to the 1 hour, I think we've got room to squeeze into like mid 580s before we see potential distribution and then pullback. So that's my estimate as well, which would, give Bitcoin obviously some strength. We are pushing up. Oh yeah, here we go. So we're pushing back up now to that US Open high. Very nearly there. Very nearly back to $88,000. There we go. But what have we looked at today? Well, obviously, we've looked at Bitcoin's price action from yesterday, obviously pumping up to just below $89,000. We've then looked at, the drop-off that we had in the Asia session. We've then obviously formed a low time frame bottom and pumped back up. We're now heading back towards the highs. So where this is marked Monday high, and obviously where Stonksy has got this red line, is yesterday's high from the top of the move. There'll be a nice amount of liquidity and stops resting above here. We've got ETH still messing around below key high time frame SR. We've got Sol showing huge strength out on its own, potentially building a rally back towards $200 slowly. We've then got a few that are up nicely. Got Doge, ADA, AVAX, a few more, Render, Ondo, that are up a good handful of percent. But nothing really too crazy in the market today. We've obviously got Mavi up 79% on its own. But yeah, just in general, seems like we're just waiting for Bitcoin to drag the market up with it. Obviously, we had SMFC on, aka Dean, the wizard behind Stonksy and the Stonksy bot. Great description of what Stonksy bot is, how it works, what's coming to Stonksy bot, as in right now for users, and then potentially over the next couple of months. If you do want to check that out, do make sure you go back and watch it if you missed it. That is 39 minutes 30 start. So 1 hour and 3 minutes on stream today. How is SPX doing? Oh, yeah, I just covered that then, didn't I? Callie says, how can I trade futures in the UK? Well, at Stonksy, we are partnered with BLOFIN. So BLOFIN is the exchange we recommend to users. It's a non-KYC exchange. As for if you can use it, you can click the link in the description and check that out. If you can create an account, you create it with just an email. You can also set up a VPN. But you'll have to check it out for yourself, won't you? I cannot give you any financial advice or tell you to do something that you shouldn't. So that's just a matter of fact. We do partner with BLOFIN. A lot of pretty much all of our users trade on BLOFIN. It's a fantastic exchange. So click that first link in the description and create an account. Non-KYC as well, so you just sign up with an email. But yeah, as to answer your question, you'll have to go and have a look. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking. 100%. 100%. 100%, yeah. That's why I gave a very, 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 very light answer. Yeah. Cannot tell you to do something that you shouldn't be doing. So, very strange question to ask, but yeah. Right, we are pushing up above $88,000 now on Bitcoin. Whoa, there we go, there we go. So we are popping higher. Here we go, we are popping higher. Lol, I'm not a Fed, but I understand why you got to be cryptic. I don't really know what you mean. I'm not being cryptic. Because if you're in the UK, I believe you're not legally allowed to trade futures, are you? So I cannot tell you to go and do something you're not meant to be doing, or tell you where you can do something you're not meant to be doing. So I can't tell you exactly where you can go and trade futures or how if you're in a place that you're not meant to be doing it. All I can say is at Stonksy, we are partnered with BLOFIN. And the Stonksy BLOFIN link is the first link in the description. Bot trade is looking tasty right now. Yeah, so that is the 1 hour time frame that we looked at before. That's what a Fed would say, says TMG. Yeah, even in the world of crypto, you can't just come on stream and tell people to do something that they shouldn't be doing. I like how many times you spammed Fed in there as well. There was so many times that you spammed Fed. But we are looking nice on Bitcoin. We are going. Well, it looks like. I mean, it would make sense to just go up and squeeze to yesterday's high, wouldn't it? That's where liquidity is. So that's what would make sense. Anyway, do I think that will do it? I mean, when you look at the 1 hour chart, so this is SMFC said the Stonksy bot. Yeah, obviously this is following the green background here. Great trade. If you're making it all the way up to here, yeah, you can maybe make an argument for stopping up here from where price got capped while ranging here. But you may as well just come and squeeze out the liquidity above here. Yeah, and a really nice push-up. Really nice push-up. To those of you that have joined the stream today, big thank you. Do make sure you smash a like on the stream. Do subscribe if you're new, or if you happen to be watching on X, make sure you hit that follow button if you aren't already following. And I'd appreciate it if you head over to the YouTube channel. That link is in the bio. Do come and drop us a subscription on YouTube, so subscribe. We are slowly creeping towards 2,000 followers, so it'd be great if you could help me speed that up. But yeah, really nice stream today. Obviously looking at the Bitcoin price action, looking at altcoins. Obviously, like I mentioned before, we had SMFC on, running through the bot, what's coming in the bot for users now, and then looking ahead to what's going to be coming in the next development as well. If you are looking to take a trade today, do make sure you click the link in the description and sign up to BLOFIN. That's the first link. And if you want to get the Stonksy indicator, where you get the Stonksy package, where you get full indicator access to the Discord server, and you get whitelisted for the trading bot to catch trades like this without lifting a finger. Boom. This green background change that we've had on the 1 hour. Click that link in the description. It's the second link, and the code BOT20. That's also in the description for you next to the link, so you can't miss it. If you use that on checkout on the monthly plan, you do get 20% off. 20% off your first month. So come and give us a go for a month if you haven't already. You've got nothing to lose at all, but everything to gain, potentially. So do come and check us out. And also, we have recently opened a part in the Discord where people can ask TMG questions directly. So the users have been loving that and, you know, following that. Asking him questions. And of course, for asking questions, he answers back. So that's another little nice feature that we've added in Discord as well. All about creating value and providing more value to users. But that is all from me today. So I will catch you all tomorrow for tomorrow's stream. We do have, obviously, it's Wednesday, so we will have Save with Crypto on tomorrow, as usual, every Wednesday. So look forward to that. In the meantime, yeah, keep making them profits. See you in the Discord. And have a good one. Take it easy and catch you tomorrow. Bye-bye.